This dashboard uses data collected from beach cleanups, primarily located throughout Europe, and was collected through the Marine Litter Watch app. The data begins in 2013 and is as recent as January 31st, 2021. Overall, these cleanups covered a total of 675,542 miles. Over 2 million pieces of trash were collected, and the most common category found was plastic at almost 85%. The map shows the locations of cleanups represented by circles, increasing in size to show the amount found for each location. Countries like Italy and France tend to see similar amounts found around their coasts. Not many are particularly more polluted than other areas. However, in countries like Spain and Denmark, there are a few locations that have much more trash than other beaches. Additionally, the total amount of trash collected for each country is represented by color, where darker colors represent higher amounts found, and we can see that Spain, France, and Italy are among the most polluted. This bubble chart shows the top 10 items that were most commonly found on these beach cleanups. The most common item was cigarette butts and filters, with a total of 504,468 pieces found. The next most common trash item collected are plastic pieces between 2.5 and 50 centimeters, followed by shopping bags, cotton bud sticks, plastic caps and lids, and chip and candy bags. Interestingly, straws did not make the top 10 list, despite often being blamed for the plastic pollution problem. Straws are number 11 in this dataset. The box plot on the left shows the top 10 most polluted countries from our data. Each point represents the total amount of trash found on each individual day. So, for example, Italy collected its highest amount of trash on May 12, 2019. Both of these can be used as filters for the whole page for a more in-depth analysis. Moving on, we can click this button on the top to view the trends over time. First, we have the yearly trends. You can see a continual increase in the total amount of trash from 2013 until 2019, when it reached its peak of 753,826 pieces collected for the year. After that, there was quite a significant drop as we have entered the pandemic in 2020 and continuing into 2021. If we look at these trends broken down into the total amount of trash found per day, we can see some seasonality, and further, we can see that spike in 2019 seems to have been significantly contributed to by one particular day, where 58,000 pieces were found. Again, with the daily view, you can see that after the start of the pandemic, there has been a significantly lower amount of trash found at cleanup events. Moving on to a monthly view to allow us to understand the seasonal trends that we have previously observed, a waterfall chart was created to show each month's overall contribution to the total amount of trash collected. The colors range in darkness to represent amount of trash, and in April and May, there is significantly more found, with over 300,000 found during each of these months, compared to months like January and February, where less than 70,000 was found over both months combined. And finally, we have a Gantt chart to visualize the length of time that the top 10 most polluted countries perform cleanup and monitoring events, where at monitoring events, trash collection was not the primary goal, but still could have been collected. And again, the color represents the amount of trash collected. In general, cleanup events starting at an earlier date than monitoring events and are present for longer periods of time. For Spain and France, most of their trash was collected during these cleanup events. In terms of monitoring events, countries do not seem to be interested in holding these events across longer time spans. In Switzerland, there was only a total of 23 days between the first and last monitoring event. One interesting insight from this chart is that Italy seemed to have found the majority of its trash collected during monitoring events, which is different than any other country. And as Italy is the most polluted, perhaps they should consider holding more cleanup events. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and remember, it is up to us to keep our oceans clean.